You ever get the feeling that you're watching two totally different worlds of money operate at the same time? I mean, on one side, you've got traditional finance, the banks, the systems we've used forever, and on the other, you have this wild, fast-moving world of Web3 and crypto. The problem is, they don't really talk to each other. Well, today, we're going to look at a company called Napa Global, which is trying to build the one thing everyone needs, a bridge to connect them.
So what is this great divide really all about? Think of it this way. Traditional finance, or TradFi, is like this massive, super secure network of highways that's been around forever. But Web3, that's like building brand new cities with, teleportation technology. Both systems are incredibly powerful, but they were built with completely different rulebooks, so they just can't connect, and that's the heart of the problem.
And if you want to know why bridging this gap is so important, you just have to follow the money. As of early 2025, the total value of the entire crypto market is sitting at a cool $2.6 trillion. Let's be clear, that's not some niche hobby anymore. That is a global economic force to be reckoned with. But here's the really mind-blowing part. That $2.6 trillion? A lot of experts think that's just the starting gun. They're actually forecasting the potential for more than 50 times growth from where we are right now. Just try to imagine that. A huge chunk of all the money in the world is basically standing on the sidelines, looking for a safe way to get into this new ecosystem.
So if there's so much potential, you got to ask, why isn't every big bank already deep in Web3? Well, the simple answer is something called infrastructure friction. That highway analogy we used, it works perfectly here. Building a bridge to the world of crypto is just incredibly hard. The tech is new, the regulations are a total maze, and the cost of messing it up is astronomical. That friction is the wall that's keeping all that traditional money stuck on one side.
So, you've got a massive problem on one side and literally trillions of dollars waiting on the other. This is exactly where a company like Napa Global comes into the picture. They're not just another tech company. No, they see themselves as the architects, the engineers, the construction crew for that bridge that everybody so desperately needs.
And listen, this isn't some fresh-faced startup with a big idea scrawled on a napkin. I mean, look at their track record. They've been at this for over 7 years. They have a team of more than 200 engineers, and they've already delivered over 200 projects. Think about that. That means they've already solved 200 different, incredibly complex problems in this space. They've been in the trenches.
And what I think is kind of cool is how they've built their whole philosophy right into their name. NAPA is actually an acronym for their core values. And when you think about the job they're doing, it makes perfect sense. You have to be agile in a market that literally changes overnight. You absolutely have to be performance-driven when billions of dollars are at stake. And maybe most important of all, you need authenticity to build that trust between two financial worlds that, frankly, don't trust each other.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. How do they actually physically build this bridge? Napa Global's answer to that question comes down to a really specific piece of technology they built called Cas Finance.
So what in the world is Finance? The easiest way to think about it is as the on-ramp and the off-ramp for that crypto highway. On-ramp just means it helps you easily change your regular money, like dollars or euros, into crypto. And off-ramp means it helps you turn that crypto right back into dollars in your bank account. It is the secure, simple gateway that connects the two.
And here is where it gets really clever. They've designed it as a mini app that a bank can just plug directly into their existing mobile app. So for you, the customer, one day you open your normal banking app and poof, there's a new button that says Buy Crypto. It's made to feel just as easy as checking your account balance. All that infrastructure friction we were talking about before, for the user, it just disappears.
But look, a cool piece of tech is one thing. The real question is, does it actually work out there in the real world? Who's really using it? Let's dive into a few case files to see how Napa has put this whole thing into practice with some seriously huge partners. First up, Sony. Yeah, you heard that right. That's Sony. A global giant like them wants to get into the world of NFTs, but they can't just flip a switch and make it happen. So Napa partnered up with them to help build out one of their NFT products, basically acting as their expert guide into this brand new territory. That right there proves they can handle the pressure of working with the biggest players on the planet.
All right, next up, let's talk about what is maybe the single most important piece of this whole puzzle: security. For a crypto wallet called Zenia, Napa built a really smart security system. See, instead of having one single master key that a hacker could steal, their system actually breaks the key into little pieces and secures them all. It's a massive leap forward in making sure that people's digital money is actually truly safe. And this bridge they're building, it's not just for digital money. What about connecting it to real physical things, like buildings? Well, with a platform called Real Stake Finance, Napa helped build a system to tokenize real estate. That's a fancy way of saying you can represent ownership of a real-world asset on the blockchain. This opens up all kinds of incredible new ways to invest. It is a huge and fast-growing part of the Web3 future. Okay, so they've got the technology, and they have clearly proven that it works with major league partners. So where do they go from here? Well, the plan was never to stay local. They are laser-focused on building this bridge on a truly global scale.
And you can literally see their journey playing out right here on the map. They started from their headquarters in Vietnam back in 2018, and since 2019, they've been strategically expanding their presence into key markets all over the world: Japan, the US, Europe, Singapore.
And that expansion is only speeding up. This timeline shows they are not hitting the brakes anytime soon. I mean, just look at late 2025. They're launching a new office in the UAE, which is exploding as a global hub for crypto finance. Then, a month later, they're opening another one in Canada, giving them a solid anchor in the North American market. Every single move here is strategic.
So when you put it all together, you realize this whole thing is about so much more than just building software. What Napa Global is really aiming to do is build the actual infrastructure. You know, the roads, the pipes, the foundations for a completely new global economy. They're not just building apps for the new internet. They're building the new internet's financial layer.
And that kind of leaves us all with one final and really important question. This massive shift in the world of finance, it's not happening soon, it's happening right now. The money is lining up, and it's getting ready to cross that divide. So you have to ask yourself, who is building your bridge to get to that future?
For companies like Sony and a whole lot of others, the answer to that question seems to be Napa Global. They aren't just betting on them as a software vendor, but as the trusted partner they need to guide them across to the other side.